Hello, my name is Joe Richter. I'm a real estate broker and an associate broker with Keller Realty. I'm licensed in California and Oregon. I prepare monthly reports that look at the market trends in 14 communities and market segments I call the Orange County Lifestyle Artery. This artery runs from Newport to Ladera through Irvine and Trabuco Canyon. These reports can be accessed on our website at joe-richter.com under the navigation link named Market Trends Monthly Update. Each report takes a focused look at a specific community or neighborhood. The goals of these reports are to refine and monitor home values, define the market type as either seller or buyer, and monitor any possible transitions, set reasonable expectations for how long it will take from a listing to getting an acceptable offer, and sign a contract, otherwise known as days on market. This report focuses on Foothill Ranch single-family homes. It covers the period January 1st, 2020 through April 30th, 2020. We will be discussing the changes over the past 30 days. We will be comparing the current year to date with the last year, 2019, and making some comparisons to the prior 5 years. The headline is, for the month of April 2020, new listings fall. We prepare these reports for our listing consultations to help sellers and our clients understand the type of market we are in, i.e. a seller's market or a buyer's market. Foothill Ranch is currently a seller's market with 1.0 months of inventory. Chapman University defines a buyer's market in Southern California as being 3.5 months or more of inventory. Several metrics need to be monitored to understand the trends in market type and home values. The trends of the last 90 days are a key way of monitoring them. Understanding the year-over-year changes are also important. The active listings and new listings generated over the last 90 days are the first of those metrics. Today there are 7 active listings. There were 5 in our report 30 days ago. There were 26 new listings over the past 90 days. 6 of those are still on the market. Compared to 2019, new listings are down 3%, contracts written are down 4%, and closings are down 5%. As noted earlier, new listings are down 3%. In our last report, they were up 25%, as seen in the blue line in the graph. That's a drop of 28% over the last 30 days. Pay attention to this graph over the next 60 days. Without new listings, we cannot have contracts written, and without contracts written, we cannot have closings. On the positive side, first, 2020 started off very strong in Foothill Ranch and the rest of the county. So the 28% drop is not necessarily a startling drop. And perhaps most importantly, one of the key economic forecasting entities for residential home sales is Fannie Mae, and they are forecasting very strong third and fourth quarter this year. Contracts written are down a slight 4% at this early stage of the season and the pandemic, and at this low amount, there's really nothing outside the norm. But we do need to pay close attention to the blue line over the next 30 to 60 days. This will be a leading indicator as to when days on market and home values and other changes in the shifts in the market will be occurring. Closings are down 5%, as noted before, and because they follow contracts written, the blue line should start to decline in May and continue in June, would certainly be expected. If all goes well, however, we will flatten or start to improve by July. August at the latest would be my guess. Next, we're going to cover home values. Perhaps the most important question sellers have, or greatest interest, is in home values, and certainly the most interesting topic to everyone in general are home values. In Foothill Ranch, values are running down a slight 0.8% for this first 4 months of 2020. The average current list price for the active listings is $852,000. The range is from $770,000 to $875,000. Now we're going to discuss 90-day closing activity. As one of the key metrics used in comparative market analysis, CMAs, we'll look at closings over a recent period. The range is typically 90 to 180 days and is really subject to how active a particular market is, how many units are closed, can you get a real indication of what values may be. We use 90 days throughout all of our reports. We do this because, one, we do the reports every 30 days, and two, just looking back 90 days takes away the distortion of seasonality on the data that can be seen if you look back 6 months. Right now we'd be looking into last fall, and that'd be just a wrong bit of information to have in our data. Currently, there are 18 homes that have closed over the last 90 days. 8 homes closed below last asking price, 2 homes sold at last asking price, and 8 homes sold above last asking price. This is very normal data that you will see in Foothill Ranch and many of our markets in our lifestyle artery. DOM is a key factor in predicting market activity and a leading indicator of inventory levels and potential changes in market types. DOM is the time from activating the listing on the MLS to getting an offer and going to a purchase contract. Normal time would be from 30 to 45 days or 35 to 50 days. That indicates a home that's well priced, well presented, and ready for the market. DOM for all active listings is 48 days. We should note that the DOM for the closing so far this year is 28 days. That is an unusually large and fast increase in the number of days it's taking to sell a home. Inventory levels are a primary determining factor of market type. Are we in a buyer or seller's market? As noted before, Chapman University defines a buyer's market here in Southern California as being 3.5 months or more of inventory. The current inventory level of 1.0 months is lower than most communities, but fairly common for Foothill Ranch. But there are 3 other key metrics that go into this we need to monitor to forecast shifts in the market. The first is the change, if any, from a point in time 90 days ago. Currently, inventory increased 17% from 90 days ago, and as a standalone metric, that's not unusual for this time of year as more homes come on the market. However, we also monitor the year-over-year levels, which are down by an unusual amount. The year-over-year levels are down 62%. This indicates that there were some abnormalities in the market to be addressed and observed. We mentioned previously how we try and take seasonality out of our data. To cross-check on seasonality, we also look back at the month-to-month comparison. In this report, that would be We are looking at April 2020 compared to April 2019 to see if anything unusual is going on. In this case, we do see another unusual statistic. The April to April comparison shows that April 2020 is down 65%. This screen shows a map of the data that's discussed in this report. By now you must realize we crunch a lot of data to present this level of detail. We get that data from saved searches on the MLS for each community. We put the raw data into our proprietary statistical models. No one else has this presentation. This map and the listing thumbnails that follow are the public-facing information of the data discussed in this report. When you're looking at the thumbnails, you can click on any one of the images to get the full public-facing details of that listing. Here we're showing one of the many tables we generate with the data. This is a table showing the current active listings. You can see the prices, the addresses, so on and so forth. And here we're showing the table of closings so far this year. This is everything that is closed in Foothill Ranch in the year 2020 through April 30th. And here is our final bit of detail. This is a graph of all the homes that have closed this year. The red dot represents the close price. The blue dot represents the original list price. So you can see kind of the price adjustments that would have gone on during either negotiations or during marketing to try and get an offer. It is frequently surprising to many of the sellers we have consultations with just how neatly the close prices follow that trend line. It happens time and time again. And so, in closing, we would like to say this is an overview of the data. We have done our best to keep this timeline short and to only comment at the highest level. We welcome the opportunity to have more detailed discussions. And finally, we hope you homeowners out there who are watching may have gotten a better understanding of the market. And those of you who might be considering selling have learned we have the in-depth knowledge of the real estate markets. We know the timing, neighborhood values, marketing strategies needed to properly price and list your home to sell. As your real estate agent, we know how to take full advantage of any market condition to help you sell your house at the highest value in the shortest possible time with the least amount of effort and stress. And for you buyers out there who are wondering where to start, you now know we have this market knowledge for all of South County. We can help you identify the best neighborhood and find the right home in that neighborhood for the next phase of your life. Please contact me. The team I work with would love to be of service. Thank you very, very much.